Hi, today I will discuss the international entry strategy of Toyota. Toyota Motor Corporation is a multinational company. It is the biggest manufacturer in motor vehicles within Japan. Its main offices are located in Japan, Toyota City. Toyota had several competitors, namely Ford, Honda Motors, and Nissan Motors. Toyota Motor Corporation produces brands such as Prius, Corolla, Sienna, Highlander, Yaris, and Tacoma. Toyota is being known worldwide and being accepted as the world's most popular car manufacturer. Wherever we go, not even a single soul did not know what a Toyota is. This is what we called as Toyotaism. But this was not that easy to accomplish compared to how it sounds. Toyota had to face several issues and problems and had taken multiple actions to solve them. Hiroshi Okada had identified three issues relating to the management of Toyota. Those management issues are: first is lag in product planning, second, declining market share in Japan, and third, was behind in overseas expansion. Due to these main issues, Toyota had taken several steps for the manufacturer to survive in its own name, in own country, and also to the world outside. For Toyota to make known of its brand name, a number of development strategies had been taken by Toyota. The first stage of Toyota's development strategy is cross-nations based strategy. It is where Toyota implemented a strategy of marketing its product in Japan and in other nations around the world. It is a strategy of blanketing the nations with all Toyota's product. Manufacturing of product for Toyota started in 1938, where its first plant was built in Honsha plant. It is after 20 years of incorporating that Toyota constructed their second plant. There were three major strategies taken by Toyota to ensure their success. First was to have high-quality auto suppliers. Second was for Toyota to build affiliates, like providing housing and entertainment facilities for its own employees and families. This was because Toyota is making its employees and families as the crucial factors of Toyota's success. And third was webbing Toyota dealers, in which they developed on their channel of distribution. It was up until 1960s that Toyota adopted nation-specific strategies to provide their automobiles throughout the nations outside. Due to that, Toyota Motor Sales had set up export department to pioneer the overseas market. First exporting activities done by Toyota was after receiving an order from Brazil for 100 units of Model FXL large trucks. As Brazil was a developing country at that moment, it was a golden opportunity for Toyota to introduce its brand name overseas and penetrate the automobiles market in Brazil. But because Brazil eventually had a poor infrastructure, Toyota grabbed this opportunity and tended to market its four-wheel drive Land Cruiser, as this vehicle is able to withstand the poor road conditions of Brazil. Starting from this point, Toyota had Ipiranga, Brazil, and had the first mover advantage to meet the demand locally. This enabled Toyota the chance to export its product to other Latin American nations, like Colombia, Costa Rica, Venezuela, and Puerto Rico. For Southeast Asia, the first export was to Thailand, which is in 1950s to 1960s. The action of Toyota Motor Sales to gain market in Thailand has enabled Toyota to receive for the second time the advantage as the first mover in the Thailand's local automobiles industry. And for the Middle East, it was in 1947 that the first exporting activity being done by Toyota was to the King of Egypt. During this period also, Toyota had already started exporting its product to gain market on the automobiles industry in China. Toyota, however, hesitated in exporting its product to the Europe at first because Europe is known as the world's most sophisticated market. So, Toyota had no intention at that time to do any transaction with the Europe. But a European representative had come all the way to Tokyo asking Toyota to export its automobiles. As a result, Toyota had export its model, Crown and Land Cruisers to Denmark and Ethiopia. After the expansion of products to the Latin America, Toyota had expanded its automobiles to the North America continent, especially the United States of America. This is where the second stage of Toyota's development strategies took place. In this stage, Toyota implemented the cross-continent space strategy by establishing 5 assembly factories. However, due to the weather condition in the USA, it brought some difficulties to Toyota in promoting its vehicles. Thus, Toyota started to export the new Corona and Corolla to Canada. Another core factor that influenced Toyota to expand its cars to the United States is due to the existence of large port cities in the West Coast region that were crucial for Toyota in distributing its product to the USA. Toyota Crown was the first model that arrived in the United States, specifically Los Angeles. After a while, Toyota's cars was condemned as it vibrates badly and easily overheated while driving all the way on United States highway. To replace the failure of Toyota Crown, Toyota had produced another improved car, Tiara, to the consumers of the USA. But the Tiara also had not fulfilled the demand of the consumers, and Toyota had serious problems in selling its cars. From this, Toyota had learned that their motor vehicles are not competitive in performance, price, and brand names. Until then, Toyota had been striving eminently to develop its new international product of the new Corona. As for the development on the automobiles market in Thailand, Toyota had made a joint venture with one of the car manufacturers of Thailand to become Toyota Motor Thailand. This was later enabled Toyota to establish its own assembly plants in Thailand, where it provided multiple job opportunities to the locals indirectly. The expansion of Toyota's products continued to the West region, then to the Central region, and lastly to the East region of United States, specifically to New York City. This expansion process was successfully carried out with one of the factors of the establishing of the second wholly owned subsidiary of Toyota, which was located in Brazil. The expansion leads to a success when Toyota do Brazil merged with Toyota of Argentina to export Toyota's automobiles to Latin America and Central America. As Toyota was backed with high political influence due to its several contributions to the local politicians during the election years, this guaranteed the successfulness of Toyota to the world generally. Approaching 1970s, two major developments occurred to the Toyota manufacturer. First is the oil crisis. As the price of oil increased tremendously during the period, Toyota's cars are highly demanded as Toyota promoted a reasonable price on its cars. Another development occurred was the appreciation of Japanese currency. For this reason, Toyota had switched its manufacturing of high grade of small cars to sporty cars. The examples are Salike and multi-use pickup trucks. Next strategy implemented was the establishment of the product plans. The main factor that leads Toyota to put this strategy into action was due to the oil crisis that eventually increased the number of units sold of Toyota's products. In January 1982, Toyota Motor Company and Toyota Motor Sales were combined to form Toyota Motor Corporation. This restructuring and merger initiative was to grasp the capabilities of Toyota to the fullest. Toyota had been in a joint venture with General Motors, with the reason that a voluntary restriction on Japanese exports to USA was initiated in 1981. This was after an action to joint venture with Ford Motors failed. The advantages towards this plan were to reduce risk and to accumulate experience in the local production. Toyota decides to build production plants in developing countries and targeting places in urban cities like the Shenyang and Shenzhen in China. In 1998, Toyota acquired Tianjin Motor Group to become Tianjin Toyota Motor Engine, where they were in charge in supplying Daihatsu and later exported to Japan. Up until 1995, Toyota implemented its third stage of development strategy, which stressed on the globalization strategy. New global business plan being initiated with the efforts to further localize and increase imports of automobiles produced overseas. One of the strategy made was the new Sienna, which was made by the manufacturer of Toyota in Kentucky, USA. Other globalization plan that were made was the published of suppliers guide with the intention to aim at providing the first time suppliers a greater understanding on Toyota's purchasing activities and giving outlines on how to sell supplies to the Toyota. In 1997, Toyota made another plan which providing internet services where it makes overseas suppliers request for auto parts easier. To summarize, one key factor that leads Toyota to be able to expand effectively is due to its active played the role of a good corporate citizen. Toyota is actively donating to social and cultural activities, exchange, student programs, and traffic safety campaign. This global business strategy as being a major plan for Toyota to keep consumers driving its product from generation to generation. In short, all of the strategies created by Toyota can be explained as first, Toyota started to target the international market by focusing on the national level, then the global level. Ways of making its product known throughout the world are through exporting at first, joint ventures, and later towards the establishing of Toyota's own subsidiaries to manufacture its products in the host country. After creating a potential hopes on the five continents market, Toyota began to be a part of the local community's choice of automobiles in their own country. The information mentioned in this video is derived from a case study about Toyota International Entry Strategy. The reference is shown in this video. That's all. Thank you for watching.